Okay, so from this video, I'm just going to be reviewing what the best MBA program is. Now, there's a lot of argument, and obviously the US News has their rankings come out every year, but a lot of that is just noise. I think that it's pretty well cemented as of now, 2023, what the best MBA program is going to be. So, the way that I would think about this is in tiers. The best MBA program has to be between Harvard and Stanford. And now the reason for this is pretty simple. Um, Stanford is slightly more selective than Harvard and has the best class profile. And obviously, Harvard is Harvard. It has a larger class size, I think about 1,000 students per class, and it has a phenomenal number of alumni in all sorts of different industries. So I think that clearly, Harvard and Stanford are the best programs, really tied for the best. But beneath that is going to be Wharton. Wharton is very high quality. It's not as selective as Harvard or Stanford, but apart from those two, obviously you can find a gazillion Wharton grads in a number of industries and positions of power. So Wharton is definitely up there. And then these three are clearly the best business schools. Apart from this, I think the rest of the M7 kind of goes to the second tier. So that what would that be? So it'd be MIT, Booth, Kellogg, Columbia. So in this tier, obviously, these are all fantastic schools. Anybody would be lucky to go to. Sometimes they've had Booth as number one. I think that's a little bit more for shock value, or they're taking into consideration things outside of selectivity, alumni, etc. But Booth is a very, very good business school. Arguably it's the best business school apart from Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. But obviously MIT, Kellogg, CBS, very, very great schools. And so this really kind of comprises the rest of the M7. And I would say, like, for the schools outside of the M7, so what, you'd have to obviously throw UC Berkeley. So you have Yale, UC Berkeley, Dartmouth, Tuck. I think that these have definitely cemented themselves as being more selective, more coveted than the rest of the schools. But obviously, you can throw your arguments out there. You can throw Stern, you can throw Duke, Fuqua. Sometimes you can throw, say, Ross, Darden. So if you were to essentially take these schools and then you add these other 4 schools, that's about 14 schools, right? So typically on the U.S. News rankings, you can also throw like Cornell Johnson in here. And so you have these 15 schools that are kind of like the T15, the best schools out there. And then if you want to continue going down the list at this point, there's some other quality programs, UCLA, University of North Carolina. The list goes on and on and on. But really, like, the M7 is the creme de la creme. So if you really get into an M7 school, I would recommend highly going to that. Below the M7, you can call this like the T10, where you add some of these other schools. They're almost as selective as the M7, but just slightly are off the mark. And obviously, the M7 is a conference, like similar to the Ivy League. Like, the M7 can't be changed, so. For that reason, we can call this the T10, and then these other schools, sometimes they can sneak their way into the T10. Other times, they're usually in this T15 area, so we can call this the T15. But I hope this helps, and obviously, if you get into any of these business schools, that's a great achievement. You should be very proud of yourself. There's many other business schools that you could go to and have a very successful career. So yeah, like this video, subscribe. And if you have any thoughts on this particular ranking, or you want to see other schools ranked, definitely leave that in the comment section below. All right, thank you.